Entry music. Da, 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 da,
I
da,
love
da, da, da. Hey guys, we are here and we are live a little bit early, and we're doing this bonus one before we actually do the full interview with Dr. Kacy Shahid, because I just found out that she is at her daughter's basketball game,
yes.
but she committed to this probably before you knew that was happening because it's some kind of all-star game. So you didn't even know it was going to be happening. You can hear that in the background. We're just going to have fun with this. And I'm going to just introduce you a little bit to Dr. Kacy Shahid by letting her introduce herself right after I let you know, in case you've never met me before, that my name is Cindy Lou, and I'm the creator and founder of the Be Bold You, which is a personality expression system, but it's also a being. It's how we be. Standing out and being who we are and owning who we are in our own skin. And Dr. Kacy Shahid, you do that more than anyone I have talked to in a few episodes. I was going through your Instagram this morning, and what I was reading was like so inspired my own heart. So thank you for your Instagram feed. So please introduce yourself to the folks that are going to be watching this.
Thank you, Cindy Lou. Cindy Lou, I'm sorry. I am so excited to be here. I too, kind of stalked your Instagram page, and I thought, where she's my spirit animal. I am just happy to be connected to you
We're
and the
twins.
Be Bold You movement, and to be a part of this wonderful podcast. I am Dr. Kacy Shahid. I've been married. This is my second marriage, a little over a year now, so I have to get used to my new name as well. But I am a principal here in St. Louis, Missouri. I've been a principal for the last 14 years, and I'm at my 14-year-old daughter's basketball game. That's how I know how long I've been in the principalship. I've been in education for over 20 years. My oldest daughter is 21. I have a 17-year-old and I have a 14-year-old daughter. So I think God was trying to be funny when he gave me all daughters, but nonetheless, I'm excited. I think the best job I have is being a mother. It's also the hardest job that I have, which is why I'm trying to multitask, being at the game, on this podcast. But I have truly dedicated my life to education in a way that I never thought I would. My undergraduate degree was in business administration. I thought I would go and be a manager, and then I thought I would be an entrepreneur. Then I thought I would be a business corporate lawyer, and then somewhere I came to my senses, and I was a substitute teacher when my oldest daughter was 6 weeks old, and I did that job just because the hours were great and I could still be with my daughter. But after I went into the field, I guess it just called me. And so within 6 years, I was a principal. So I had probably the shortest track in education, from substitute teacher to certified teacher to principal. And people are still wondering, like, I don't even know how I did it. I'm like, I can't even explain it. I just know I came in very thirsty, very eager into the profession, and I still have the same passion and thirst that I had 20 years ago. I still have it now. I wrote a book entitled Know Your Place, Run Your Race, and it's meaningful nuggets for educators willing to be resilient leaders. And over my years, I've had people ask me, so how did you become a principal? And what's your motivation? How do you balance work life with your children? And so I tried to put in some of those salient points into the book, and that's why I'm calling them nuggets. And I wanted it to be the quickest read for educators. Because if you're anything like me, I have like 6 books that I'm reading all at the same time. So happy to be on your podcast today. And that's kind of a little bit about me.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't think I knew that you had gone so quickly. Like 6 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is in the world of becoming a principal. That is like cray cray and never heard of.
Yeah, it is.
Like it just doesn't happen that way, right? Like people are
No.
teachers for 10 years and then they enter principalship maybe. And it's a journey to get in there.
Yes, it is. And
So
it's challenging work. So it's not even like easy once you get in there. It's not easy to get there. It's not easy to get in. And it's definitely not easy to stay.
oh yeah, you
I'm a crazy
between
person.
between dealing with, let's see, students for one, and
Hmm.
you're high school, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so students in puberty for two,
yes.
parents of
Hmm.
students in
I just
puberty,
I just love them all.
and the teachers who are
Yes.
teaching and
Hmm.
dealing with the students in puberty.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, girl, you how do you do it? Like one day at a time, I'm assuming.
Yeah, one day at a time, and I truly believe it is a mission and a calling. So I don't feel like I'm working. It is challenging if I sit and think about the parents, and I think about the students, and I think about the teachers and what everybody needs, and trying to balance the interests of everyone is very challenging. I try not to look at it that way. I look at it as like this. I even say this is like the best job. It's so fun. I don't even look at it as work. I'm like, I'm going out to help be a merchant of hope for others. And it sounds so cliche and sometimes like too optimistic, but it is what has sustained me in the profession, to be really optimistic about what is possible with children and the adults that I serve, from the parents to the teachers. So yeah, I just have a different mindset about it. So I call it hard work, not hard work. And that has helped me to embrace the challenges, because they do come and the problems do come. And some days, I've had those moments where I'm like, you know what, I'm just over this. And then I get this, burst of energy that says, no, no one gave up on you. And so you won't give up on the people that you serve. So that's my
Come
motivation.
on. No one gave up on you. So you're not
No,
going to
they
give
did.
up on the people you serve.
I will not. I am principal of the high school that I attended. So I'm principal of Central Visual and Performing Arts. So I really, truly have had a full circle moment. And I do believe that my school saved my life. I really do. It's a performing arts high school. I majored in theater. And no one told me I couldn't sing. So at first I was in vocal music, and then, I kind of realized on my own, like, wait a minute, that's not my best talent here. And was in theater, fell in love with theater, and graduated, had no intentions on being an educator. And so to be back at my high school, I just look at, I'm like, God, is that you? So that is why it's a
It has
mission
to
and a
be.
calling. Yeah.
It has to be
Yeah.
God, because you couldn't get there in 6 years
Mm-hmm.
from substitute teacher
Yeah.
to getting
Yeah.
certified to becoming
Mm-hmm.
principal. That
Yeah.
is God
Yeah. Yeah.
only can do that road for you.
Yeah.
And then from theater
Mm-hmm.
to now you're running that theatrical school. So what do they have at that school? They have theater and
We
musical
have we have vocal music, we
voice.
have dance, we have instrumental music, we have visual art, and so all of our students that are at the school are in one of those related arts, and it is their weapon of choice. So it gives me, I mean, it's an honor to work with students who are working in their gifts and talents. It's a it's a feeling that it's just like working with Beyonce and the Prince and the Michael Jackson. Think about when they were kids, they were I mean genius in their field, but probably sometimes socially awkward. The brain is so gifted of most of our children that they are different, so there is a special student that's an artist. And so I just love them. They are free and open, and I describe them as woke. They are open about their sexuality. They're open about their beliefs, and so I've learned so much from working with and serving them. And I would say the same about my staff as well. I think we're all learning and growing and living vicariously through them. I'm like, go ahead, go for it. They're always wanting to protest. I'm like, go for it, even though I can't, always openly express my views. I can allow them to express themselves and support their social justice efforts. And so, even though we're a performing arts school, they definitely have a voice in the area of social justice, and we encourage it.
That is amazing. And I think that was the piece that really got me when you were talking on Clubhouse,
Mm-hmm.
how you had students that were rising up to
Yeah.
say, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
This is the direction we need to go. And how exciting that it's the creative students that actually have a voice. Like, I think the thing with the creative arts is that there's a platform that's growing for them right now.
Yes.
The more we're in pandemic and the more we're in things of trauma, what rises up usually is the arts, because we're
Yeah.
looking for something to release our emotions, our
Mm-hmm.
feelings.
There
I
is
love what you're
healing in
doing.
the arts. There's healing in the arts. Our young people are, so during this pandemic, I will say our school shifted. So we had to find a way to allow them to express themselves. We're doing a lot of video recording, but it is still hard for a dancer to really dance full out on the video. And so we have moments where I know our students are tapping out. So their level of engagement has dropped. And so we're constantly trying to engage them. We had for Black History Month performances every week. We have a virtual stage. So we're having these recorded performances, just not the same. So my heart goes out to my students and to our entire community, because they came to our school because of the art. So we're trying to tell them, like, we just have to get creative. We have not, we've not forgotten about you, and the world has not forgotten about your talent. We just have
Yeah.
to get creative. So we're thinking of some outdoor performances. We're not quite there as a school, but the teachers are working extremely hard, keeping those virtual performances going. Again, a work in progress. You couldn't have prepared us for this moment, but there's no turning back. We'll never be the same again. And our students still know, and our staff still know, that the arts is where they'll find their healing. So we have to continually tap into the innovative, creative, juices of the students, and kind of push them and let them know you're not. It's not over. It's not over. And they're just like, I'm just tapped out. Some of them have given up, but not quite given up. But you can just tell they just lost some hope there.
Okay, so Dr. Kacy is on the road. She's at
It
her
made
daughter's
me
basketball game, and
sad.
the
I
service
would
just went out for a minute, and we're talking over each other. And this will be fun, if when we put this on the bonus episode, it will be there. Sometimes life doesn't work perfectly. Sometimes you've got to look at a new way of doing things. So you're frozen up there, Dr. Kacy. I'm not sure if you can hear me. And yeah, so she's refreshing her screen, and we're going to let her go ahead and do that and see if she comes back on. And if she doesn't, we're going to let this one go as just a quick bonus episode to introduce you really quickly to a woman who has a heart to serve children or students. Hey, are you back?
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened. This just doesn't want me to be great today. I don't know what's happening, but
But
I'm
you
back.
are great today. It does not matter if it doesn't want you to be great or not,
Thank
because
you.
you are.
Thank you.
And you
Well, I'm
are
with the
doing
Be
things.
Bold You family, so I hope everyone is giving me grace as I'm attempting to do this video and this
Yeah.
podcast. So
Okay, so how many people would be at their daughter's ball game, meeting the commitment that they made, figuring it out?
yeah,
People would have just called me and said, I'm going to cancel. Most people would have said, I'm sorry, my daughter's got a ball game that came up. They just would have canceled.
yeah.
You figure out ways to do it. You get creative, you work it out, and you're doing that in your school. And I'm assuming you did that in your book.
Yes, I
That
try
that's the
very hard.
nuggets that you're sharing.
Absolutely. It's a book. I'm really challenging educators to let them know that we belong in spaces like this. So even the whole Be Bold You, I'm asking them to be bold and be confident in their profession. I have been to educational conferences where the presenters are not educators. They have no experience, but they'll have standing room only participants. And we are taking all notes and listening. I'm not saying that you have to be an educator to add value, but I cannot go into the healthcare profession and give a standing room only presentation, and I have no real background knowledge of the healthcare profession. I think what's happening, people
Oh,
are
yeah.
take. Am I breaking up?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh,
You're
okay.
good. Keep
People
going.
are our educators. We're weird. We're weird people. We're in a box somewhere, and we think we don't belong in spaces, and we do. We can be on a podcast. We can be on Clubhouse. We are more than worthy enough to be in these spaces and learning from entrepreneurs and be edupreneurs in this field. And so I realized, because I too felt the same way. So I'm challenging educators to share their stories so that they can lead with transparency and authenticity. So I shared my story about molestation. I shared my story about drug addiction in my family. And so I did that because I want people to know, don't just see Dr. Kacy Shahid, but there's a story behind me that I want people to take, because I hid behind it for so long, being
Mm.
ashamed and feeling like I can't tell people who I really am and what I've been through, when really it's a story of courage and resilience, and confidence, and it's beautiful, and our kids need to hear it, and other educators need to be willing to share their stories and willing to be in spaces where they think they don't belong. Like, start your podcast, educator. Be at a conference
Yeah.
and present, educator. You don't have to let someone who's not an educator always teach you. You can teach. Your collective years in the field makes you more than qualified. So it is really a call to action to my fellow colleagues, as well as sharing, some nuggets of inspiration, to them, to remind them, like, you are more than enough. Trauma informed practices is pretty big in the book, and how we can utilize and be informed when we share our own story. So I shared my story, my traumatic childhood, and how that shows up even in the work that I'm doing. So that's just one of the nuggets within the book that I'm pretty proud of. I'm excited to, even talk more about the book, that you even gave me this opportunity. So again, forever grateful. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I am going to have you back when you're in your studio, and we'll
Mm-hmm.
do a recording, even if we do it at a different time than the Be Bold You podcast is happening,
Okay.
so that we can fit it into your schedule. We can sit down in studio and really get a good um, a feel for you. So I'm going to ask you real quick the 10 Be Bold You questions, just because you're here, and,
Okay.
it will be a little bit of fun. And
Okay.
then I'm going to let you go after that. So let me grab them up.
Okay.
So what is your favorite color?
Yellow.
Yellow.
It's bold, it's bright, it's vibrant.
It's beautiful. And are you more introverted or extroverted?
More extroverted. But I think I have introverted tendencies. But I'm more extroverted. Yeah.
But you can be, see, the thing is that there's outgoing extroverts. I mean, outgoing introverts and inward extroverts. So
Mm-hmm.
there's, it's like, how do we think? Do we think it's anyway? That's a whole part of the Be Bold You personality expression stuff, is to look at ourselves beyond just our personality assessment that we get. That's like, are you one of these 4 types? No, you're your education, you're your experiences, you're everything you've been through, plus the way your brain processes stuff and the way things come out. So anyway, we'll carry on. Give me a quote or phrase that encourages you.
It's the quote, success should not be measured by the position that one has reached in life, but by the obstacles which he or she has overcome while trying to succeed. And that's by Booker T. Washington. I absolutely love that quote. It embodies me.
It sure does. And what energizes you?
Ah, helping people. Helping people.
Yes.
Yep.
That goes along with the extrovert. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite age?
Wow. I'm gonna say right now at this moment. So I don't always tell my age, so I won't tell it, but I'm definitely old enough to be a grandmother. I have a 21-year-old, so you do the math, but I'm in my 40s, and I think this is a great time to, I've learned some things. I, age is age is not, it doesn't define my success. So I'm just happy to even embrace my age. I guess if I embrace it, I would tell it, but just in case one of my students see it, I don't want them to size me up. So I don't.
No, they don't need to know. They don't need to
Right.
know. No. No, but if they're sizing me up, my grandson is 18.
Okay.
He's 18.
Mm.
I. What favorite books or songs? Do you have a favorite book or song, or what book are you reading right now is usually the question, but some people aren't
Okay.
book readers, they're singers. So
Yeah, I'm reading Emergent Strategy by Marie Brown, and she talks about the small in everything, and how if you have to reduce things and pull back the layers, is where I haven't finished it, but I haven't even started, but I have it on my list of books to read. No, I'm like, I started it, I just haven't gotten into it. And then the other book, so I told you I'm reading
end
my
of the
6 books.
period. End of the period just happened.
Okay, yeah, you heard Shh, be quiet. Now you're gonna make me feel bad. Okay, so
No,
and
no,
the other
no, it's
book,
all good. This is,
it's
I
by
mean,
Ariana Huffington, and it's gosh, the title of it. She talks about wonder. She talks about, basically, she's saying that life is more than just making money, but it's, really about having, really having this balance, this wellness and wonder, and, but not chasing the money like she has. And so I have that book on my to-do list. So, but I wouldn't say favorite because I haven't gotten into them. But my all-time, I would say, favorite book, if I had to say, it would be Radical Candor by Kim Scott. And I love how she pushes leaders to give that very candid feedback that has helped me grow as a leader and in my personal life. So I say the things that people are sometimes uncomfortable to say, but that book has inspired me to do just that. And it's radical candor. So it sounds just, and she gives so many strategies within the book. You should get that if
I
you
love
haven't.
it. No, I don't have that yet. So I'm definitely going to
Okay.
add that to my list.
Okay.
And what's the most exotic place you've ever been? I
I
know it's one of
haven't.
those questions.
I like Catalina Island. It was in California, and
Okay.
I guess it was exotic for me. I like the whole experience of the ferry and the I indulged in a day spa, so it was really, I felt like I was one of the Kardashians for a day. So that I would say that would have been one of my favorite places to visit.
Awesome. Do you create to live or live to create?
Oh wow, I live to create. I try to take advantage of opportunities. I'm always trying to learn. So I feel like my part of my being is to be in spaces like I'm challenging other people that I wouldn't that people are surprised that I'm there. I'm surprised at myself. I'm like, a podcast. Why am I here? I'm not selling anything. I don't have a product. I don't have a website. I don't really have a product. I mean, I have a book now, but
You
I
have a
live to
book?
create moments and memories and leave a legacy for my children and the students that I serve because I know it's bigger than me.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we're not in church.
But say amen. Say amen.
What's the greatest influence in your life? They can be dead or alive person.
My mother. My
Yeah,
mother.
come on.
Yeah. Yeah, my mother.
Mamas are there for us.
Yeah.
Last question. What one word describes you best?
Resilient.
Yeah, resilient. I would say that's definitely true.
Some people don't like it. I love it. It defines me. I've bounced back from so many difficult situations that people could not even think about surviving, and so I'm very honored and very grateful. So that is my forever
Yeah.
word.
And when you come back, we'll talk about those things probably a bit more. And I think our stories are pretty similar. So I'll be interested to talk with you again. I'm so excited that you got to do this. And I'm going to let you go so you can go back in there and be with your daughter as
I
she
see.
is.
I see them walking out. I'm gonna act like I've been in there. Gonna go and act like I've been in there. But thank you
Yeah.
so much, Cindy Lou. I
Bye.
appreciate it. We'll connect again. Thank
Yes,
you.
we will. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye bye.
Off you go. All right. She is out of here. And we are going to end this broadcast. Thank you so much for listening. And this is a bonus broadcast of the Be Bold You podcast being recorded live while our guest, Dr. Kacy Shahid, was at her daughter's basketball game. And you'll be able to get the other episode, and I'll let you know. I'm not sure if I'll play this before or after. So, yeah, I'm totally trying to figure this out. But either way, look in the comments or in the description. The description for one will have the link to the other one and vice versa. So have an amazing week. Remember to always live your life out loud and be bold you.